If we look into the industrial and logistic take-up, if you look to the statistics, we can see that 2015 was really a top year. 18 million square meter logistics space was taken up in the various European countries. Primarily in Germany, that the deep blue bar at the beginning of the bar on the right-hand side of the slide, with 6 million square meter, but also Central and Eastern Europe, which obviously consists of a number of countries, was quite strong with 5 million square meters per annum in 2015, where particularly Poland was a fast grower with 21% growth. So that's on the tenant side, on the occupier side. If you look at it from the investment perspective, we see also growth. 7.5 million square meters will be required in a couple of years because the growth of the market is more than 10% a year. And 7.5 million square meter additional space only to fulfill the needs of growing e-commerce is a huge number. You can see here the division per country. There are some countries like the UK and Germany where the growth is a little bit percentage-wise per annum lower because those are more the mature internet markets already, while other countries are still in the growth pattern. But you see a fantastic growth. So a lot of companies have to look into how do we organize our e-fulfillment in a good manner. And there are basically, you see a kind of polarization. On the one hand, we see the growth of the big boxes, and on the other hand, the smaller delivery point, often close to urban areas. Now, for these big boxes, there are a couple of studies available to show you what are the emerging and existing logistics hubs. This is a study from CBRE, and it shows you where the existing hubs are. It's a global study. Out of the 30, there are 9 in Europe, and they are here with the blue dots, and with the red triangles, you see more the emerging hubs. That's a global perspective. So 9 out of the 30 in both categories are in Europe, and you can easily imagine that the remainder is in China and India and Mexico, the growing parts of the world. If you go to the study of Prologis every year, it's more focused on Europe. You see here where in the red color, you see the hot areas, and particularly the Benelux is doing well. So the top 5, 4 out of the top 5 regions are within the Netherlands, and number 3 is Brussels, Antwerp, which is the only Belgian one. So from a European perspective, you can easily see that the Benelux, and in some cases also northern France and North Rhine-Westphalia and Germany, are the hotspots from a logistics perspective. Now, looking a little bit more into why is the Netherlands then so attractive, because it's coming out of the data. You see that increase also in pan-European study and even the global study, that the number of existing and emerging logistics hotspots in the Netherlands is increasing. We see that the demand in logistics real estate, the blue bars are here rent, and the light blue is buy, that the growth of the demand for logistics real estate is really increasing all over the place. That means also that the availability in the Netherlands, we have quite a vacancy rate in logistics and industrial space. You can see here that that's going down. So the market is growing in terms of uptake, and it is also growing in terms of a decreasing vacancy rate. Now, the logistics real estate stock is concentrated in certain areas, and you can easily see that from Rotterdam towards Germany, that's the logistics corridor through North Brabant and North Limburg, cities like Breda, Tilburg, Waalwijk, Eindhoven, Venlo, Venray. Those are the cities where a lot of this logistics, these new logistics activities take place. And by the way, the logistics is built up by different players. So you have producers, you have retailers and e-tailers, you have logistics service providers, and depending on where you are in the Netherlands, you see a different mix of who takes up that real estate. With the last couple of years, we see also a real increase in investment in Dutch logistics real estate. Here you can see that the last 3 years, after some very difficult years in industrial and logistics space, the investments have really grown in the last 3 years. What comes with that, with the growing market, with more demand, with less available and certainly less available right logistics space, you see also that yields are going down, and particularly on the blue and the light blue, which is more the western and the southern part of the Netherlands, where the majority of the logistics action takes place, you see that the average yields are decreasing. One of the phenomena we see also in the Netherlands, and we see it also in other locations, but particularly in the Netherlands with that European fulfillment centers, is a huge increase in what we call XXL warehouses. Now, in some countries, they use 50,000 square meters as the minimum level to be awarded as being a big box or being a XXL distribution centers. Here we took 40,000 square meters. And you can see that in the last couple of years, there is a fast increase of altogether 28 large distribution centers already in operation or being announced. And in these 28 large distribution centers, XXL distribution centers, that's about 2 million square meters. So only these 28 large distribution centers, mega distribution centers, have a take-up of 2 million square meters. And by the way, there are about 10,000 people to work in those. Why is that? Why is that trend towards the larger players? And obviously within the logistics service providers, there is a concentration in the industry, there is economies of scale, but particularly on the retailers and the e-tailers, if you look to the logistics process of e-fulfillment, you see high product variety because you get it out of the shops. You need more space for picking, packing, shipping. You need definitely no more space for returns because a lot of the products which are being brought to customers, 40% on average is coming back, so you need space for that as well. You see that companies combine the DCs for bringing the products to the shop in combination with the products being brought to customers, delivered by customers. So there are a number of reasons why we see the warehouses growing. And here are some examples of the companies who set up, which are within that group of 28 mega distribution set up or announced in the last 2.5 years in the Netherlands. And actually, if you look where they are geographically concentrated, you see the same type of picture with also North Brabant, very important. This is the map of these 28 mega developments where international developers, international investors, but also national Dutch investors and developers are involved. So in summary, Richard, I think what you can see is that the Dutch investment market and the Dutch occupier market in logistics real estate is increasing. We see that trend of increasing warehouses, so the big boxes on the one hand with the smaller drop-off points closer in the urban areas. And we see also that there are certain areas, and you could say that corridor from Rotterdam to Venlo, that is the hot zone if we talk about logistics real estate. So thank you very much for that introduction and certainly prepared to answer any question. Thank you.